Some of these writing questions are easier than they look, and some get a lot harder. So I want you to pause the video, try these questions yourself, and see how many you can get right. These are HiSET writing questions, but GED students, you are absolutely in the right place because these skills show up on both of the tests. All right, let's get started. The first thing that I actually like to do is do a quick skim of the reading. Now, it says here to read through the draft, but you actually don't need to read through it. Just have a little skim, see what's going on. Okay, so it says here, student representatives drafted an announcement for an all-school party. So this is essentially what it is. So we want to see you there. So Benning High Back to School Cookout, September 6th at 7 p.m. So then let's have a big turnout at City Park from 7 to 9. Okay, let's keep going. Leading off the entertainment for the evening. Don't miss it. Admission is $2. So now that we have the gist, we're going to dive right into the questions. Question number 1. So we're going to look at what is underlined, and then we're going to see if we should replace it with one of these other options. So I like to read the entire sentence, sometimes the sentence before, just so that I really understand what's going on. Let's have a big turnout at City Park for this year's Back to School Cookout. Members of the Student Senate has been planning an event of fun, food, and foot-tapping festivities. Okay. So what we need to look at is this is really just subject-verb agreement. Now, when we go through this, we have to determine what is the subject. So it says members of the Student Senate has been planning. So if you look right here, you can see Senate, and you're like, Senate has been planning. Ding! That's the right answer. But it's actually not. So here we have of the Student Senate. This is going to be a prepositional phrase. And a prepositional phrase is never the subject of a sentence. So we can actually just delete that. And now we have members has been planning. Do we say members has? No, because members is plural. So we know that this is not the answer. Okay, so members were planning. Were they planning it? No, they currently are, and they have planned, right? So we're planning, have planned. Members have planned. Yes, that's our answer. And then if we look at C, it says has planned. Again, that doesn't work when we're talking about more than one person, like members here. Question 2. Which of these words, if any, is misspelled? Okay, let's put on our spelling cap. Again, you don't have to know spelling for everything. Just do your best and answer as best as you can. So we have here none, and we're looking at festivities, celebrate, and extraordinary. Okay, so festivities, that is actually spelled correctly. So because that's correct, that means that A is not the answer either. Celebrate, no, that one is also spelled correct. Extraordinary, we should have an A in there. So extraordinary is misspelled. Question 3. So from 7 to 9, faculty advisors Robert Henderson, Joseph Weinstein, and Andrea Wu. Okay, so what we're looking at is faculty advisors. Let's look at, should it be capitalized? So do you capitalize teacher? No. Do you capitalize faculty advisor? No. I mean, we capitalize president if it has a president's name after it, but a lot of times professions, you're not always capitalizing it. And this is just saying their job duty is. So it's not capitalized. And so because of that, look, A is capitalized with the F, C has advisors capitalized, and D has faculty and advisors both capitalized. So that eliminates it, and it gives us B as our answer. Okay, but let's say that you had 2 options. And now let's look at the apostrophe at the end. Notice how we have advisor, apostrophe S. Here's the apostrophe S right here. And then both of these are just plain. So let's look at that too. So here, when we have apostrophe S, it happens for 2 reasons, right? The first is a contraction. So we would say faculty advisor is Robert Henderson, Joseph Weinstein. Would we ever say that? No. The other time we might use an apostrophe is to show ownership or possession. Okay, it turns it into a possessive word. So faculty advisors, like instead of saying Michelle's car, so Michelle's car is the possessive, right? So this is sort of the same thing. Faculty advisors, is it showing ownership? No, it's saying who they are, right? So we're looking for faculty advisors without the apostrophe because that just shows plural. And we have 3 faculty advisors, so it is plural. So B is still our answer. And by the way, if these videos help you study for the GED or HiSET, make sure that you subscribe because I post new practice videos every single week. Okay, question number 4. So if we look at this, you can see that we're looking for commas. Where should we have commas in this phrase if commas are needed at all? So let's read the entire sentence and that will help us figure it out. Leading off the entertainment for the evening will be our award-winning Benny's Jazz Band, followed by a performance by our own show choir, the Benning Transfer. Okay, let me read it one more time and I'm going to pause where there's that current comma and see if it sounds right to you or not. Okay, followed by a performance by our own show choir, the Benning Transfer. Doesn't sound right, does it? So A is not the answer. So you could do that for each of them. But really what we're doing is, I imagine a drum roll. So we're saying, followed by a performance by our own show choir. Drum roll, please. The Benning Transfer, right? That's what we're talking about. So that's why we have the comma, show choir, comma, Benning Transfer. To let us know, in case you don't know who the show choir is, it's the Benning Transfer, right? So C is our answer. And it's okay if you exaggerate like me. It just makes it a little bit more fun, right? So honestly, this structured practice actually matters. And this is what we focus on inside Purely Persistent Academy, giving students daily lessons, practice, so you always know what to work on. So let's move on to question number 5. So with this question, we're really just looking at how is this best worded? Which way is maybe the least awkwardly worded? So when I have these, I like to read them out loud. So pause the video, read each one of these out loud and see if you can get the answer right. Okay, let's do it together though. So A is just leaving it as is. So don't miss it in that it's the first big party. Does that flow very well? Not really, right? Okay, so that's not it. Okay, B. Remember, we're talking about a flyer. The first big party of the year does not want you to be missing. Can a party have feelings? Can it be wanting you to miss? No. So B's not the answer either. It's this year's first big party. Don't miss it. That one's sounding okay, right? D. Don't miss the first big party of the year. There we go. That one just rolls off the tongue. It sounds better. It's less wordy. So D, is our answer. Question 6. Admission is $2 for students with an activity card, $3 without one. Okay, so we're trying to decide $3 for without, $3 for those without one, $3 for you are without. So some of them don't really make much sense, right? D definitely doesn't make sense. B, kind of a weird comma. So let's look at A and C and see if we can figure out which one it is. Okay, you try it on your own. So A, $3 without one. C, $3 for those without one. So even though C has a couple more words, it just is making this a little bit more clearer for the reader on this flyer. So C is actually our answer. Number 7 is just like number 6, which is the least wordy. Okay, so let's read our options. Students having their Benning ID card along with them will only be admitted. Okay, a little wordy, but let's look at our other options. Students must show their Benning ID card to be admitted. That one sounds pretty good, right? That one sounds less wordy than A, I mean. Okay, C. Bringing your Benning ID card is necessary because you can't get in without one. Now, didn't it just say that you can be admitted if you have $3? I don't know. But C is very wordy. Only students will be admitted carrying a Benning ID card with them. Okay, again, we're looking for which one sounds maybe the most professional for a flyer. and it's definitely B. All right, great job finishing up those questions with me. Remember, you do not have to get every question perfect or every question right in order to pass the GED or the HiSET. But the key is consistent practice and learning from your mistake. So if you haven't already connected with your adult education program, definitely make sure that you do. Having support and structure makes a huge difference. And if you want more guided support from me, click the link down below for Purely Persistent Academy, where I have guided practice, lesson, and a little bit of study support. But my friends, keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep going. You can do this. Believe in yourself like I believe in you. Peace, friends, and God bless you.